Hey, it's John Hope Bryant. My our dog here, Kingston, is chilling over here, enjoying the peacefulness of the moment, and he's enjoying the peacefulness of the moment because he has a secure environment, because he doesn't have to worry about the problems of the world. The other offset is that he's pure love, so he makes the world make sense because he offers nothing but love, as most pets do. That's why we love pets so much. That's why we millions and millions and millions of views of pet videos, dog videos, and cat videos. But we're not living in a dog and cat decision making world right now. We're living in a people making decision world right now, and the world's on reset. Everybody, you can't be like Kingston. You got to get up. The world needs you right now. As I've often said, history doesn't feel historic when you're sitting in it. It just feels like another day. But that doesn't mean the moment is not historic. And we're going to look back at this 20 to 30 years from now and say that what did we do? What did we do? And so 2020 is a year on reset. I was just talking to a friend of mine, who former CEO of a major company, Tom Watson, and he was talking about how he believes also this world is on reset. We also believe that we have no limits. All right. So then what do you do? How do you make of this moment? And here's my philosophy. I believe there is a God. I believe in a higher power. And I believe that God has given us every 100 years or so to sort of reckon with our reality. So you had, 1760 to 1780. That was our decision to be independent from a colonial power, from Britain. Then you had, in this country, then you had from 1850-ish to 1870-ish, that's, do we want to be ruled by a Southern philosophy or a Northern philosophy? Is it an economy based on slavery and oppression, or an economy based on industrialization and free will for all mankind? And it was messy, it was ridiculous debate to begin with, but we ultimately decided that freedom was the beacon for this world, even though it was an imperfect coming together and unfinished business with regard to black slaves and their true freedom of economic determination post literal freedom. Never given the tools to actually compete in this society. And as you have heard me say in all those books up there, the Freedmen's Bank of 1865 is an experiment that was never completed because Lincoln was killed. Then you had 1950-ish, to 1980-ish, another period where, 1950, I'm sorry, to 1970, with us deciding that freedom for all mankind and social justice and social grace and us being about bridges and not walls was where we needed to go. And that became a beacon for us for the world. That completed the Marshall Plan work after World War II to make us a place where all people in the world felt that they could come here and fulfill their vision. All races. That's why we're the nation with every race of people within our borders, the United States of America, and a place where economics and diversity meet. So the largest economy in the world is the most diverse economy in the world, the U.S. The two most diverse states in the U.S., the two largest economies in the U.S., California and New York. The cities with the most diversity are the cities with the most prosperity. The city of Atlanta in the South is the most prosperous city in the South because I believe we decided to fight over who got the green, not whether you were black or white. Ridiculous conversation. The cities that were focused on black and white are stuck on a old 20th century economic model, and no one's winning except even the very people at the very top spend most of their time worrying about how they're going to keep their riches from those at the bottom. And what I tell my rich friends is my rich friends need my poor friends to do better, if only to stay rich. Okay? We're all in this thing together. So what's my point here? Here's the point. I believe in God. I believe God has put us on timeout because now here we are at 2020. We should not have a reset to 2050 every 100 years or so. But I think that we kick this can down the road as long as we can. We've had mid 1700s, mid 1800s, mid 1900s. Now we have early in the 21st century. We have this not one issue, not one crisis. Listen now, in 1 year, global health pandemic, economic crisis, 40-year-old social justice reckoning. within 3 months of each other. You think this is an accident? Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. You hear me? Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. There is a hidden hand in all this saying we need to get our stuff together. We need to knock it off. We need to solve our problems. We also need to deal with the environmental sustainability issue while we're dealing with all the other issues. We have kicked this can down the road as long as we can, and now we need to lead. We need to lead. Even my boy King raised his head. Lead, Dad? We need to lead. My new book comes out October 6th. Pre-order it, Up From Nothing. You'll see that we're going to launch a major initiative tied to the new Marshall Plan in the next few weeks at our Hope Global Forum. Register to watch the Hope Global Forum wherever you are. Figure out how you can lean into Operation Hope's work. Figure out how you can lean in with the YMCA, the WMC, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the Urban League, the NAACP, La Raza, your after-school programs, your local school board, your local, local daycare. Can you lend a hand there? Can you start a small business? The time actually is now. Can you become an entrepreneur and create jobs and help America reset? The time is now. If you're a philanthropist, can you target your philanthropy in a way that has scale? If you're African American and you become an expert in the streets, or Frank, you're a young person, white or black, because whites and blacks are in the streets marching, and you've been marching, you've been an expert in the streets, I now need you to become an expert in the C-suites. We need a strategy to move that frustration into progress. We need to turn that energy into something that is productive. We need a plan and a strategy, and anger is not one or either of those. So we need to figure out where we're going, and then we need to go there together, because as the Bible says, a house divided cannot stand, will not stand. That we are going to end up winning the battle and losing the war here. We don't get our stuff together. It's like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. The ship is sinking and we're picking drapes. We've got to get our stuff together. We've got to come up with a plan, and I call it my new Marshall Plan. Go online and search for it, download it, share it with friends, start a conversation. Big initiative coming out of that in the next 2-3 weeks. Watch for an announcement on that. But whether you partner with Operation Hope, or whether you partner with your school board, or you partner with your neighbor, we need to partner. We need to come together. We need to figure out who we want to be when we grow up. And this is the time. You got it. God has given you an 18-month timeout. All of 2020, and half of 2021, I believe, will be us sorting out who we want to be when we grow up. And I think we've got to deal with these 4 issues: this global health pandemic, and who is affected, and who are the most vulnerable amongst us, and how do we change that narrative now and in the future? How do we protect those who can't protect themselves? Number 2, we've got to deal with this economic crisis and make sure as we build back, we build better, that all boats rise, all people have an opportunity to participate in the economy of the future. As one of my books said, How the Poor Can Save Capitalism, Rebuilding the Path of the Middle Class. We need to move the struggling class to the middle class, and middle class to what I call the winning class, which is this new book, Up From Nothing. We have got to deal with this 400-year-old social justice reckoning. It is not okay that the largest wealth transfer in the history of the world was slavery for 246 years and 100 years of Jim Crow after that. It's not okay. It is not sustainable, and you can't even argue with your mother-in-law and get away with it 6 months later and disrespect her without some retribution. What do you think? There's no retribution here, but there's frustration. There's people who are black and who are brown who feel left behind, left out, and never reconciled. There's never a trial or even a conversation after the Civil War where people who rebelled against the United States said, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm going to put down my arms. No, they took their guns back and their horses back to their towns and created, and said, if I didn't win the war, I'll be the sheriff of my little town and create my own little war, and I'll be the Klan at night. You see, this just doesn't stop unless we stop it. And then we've got to pivot from our issues that divide us and create an issue that brings us together, which I believe is saving our planet. That environmental sustainability means more than weather, but it starts there. All right, John O'Brien, I'm out. Hope I inspired you. Let's lean in. Share this video, make a comment, tell a friend, download the new Marshall Plan, read it, act on it, and follow us at the Hope Global Forum and what comes next. I'm out.